Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Time for another part of a Q&A. You guys know I did the 1000 subs contest and I asked you guys to ask me questions for a Q&A video. I got so many questions that I decided to split it up in two videos. The first one is already uploaded, so you guys probably have seen it or not. If not, I will leave a link in the description here. So you can look at the first part of this Q&A. Second part, almost even as much questions, so see how far this video stretches. Hopefully not as long as the other one, but you never know. There are some serious questions here that are pretty long. So before we go into the questions, I hope that the music isn't too loud, but we're listening to Bandmate with Conqueror. Yes, completely different from the first video, but I just feel like to spin this album. I really love this band. Great album, go check it out. This album is available with multiple covers. I think this is in 5 versions, so every bandmate has his own cover. It's really hard to track down as well and expensive to find the other copy. This is just European pressing with Miku on the cover, and this is the most common one probably. I already spotted on Discogs one with Psyche, and it's affordable but still pretty penny. I might obtain that one as well. That includes also a bonus disc with DVD or bonus tracks. I don't know what it exactly was, but it has 2 discs. This is only 1 disc. But I might track that down. But it's really hard with the first European of the first pressing of that pressing. With the first one I saw in Europe and it's already sold out, so I have to probably get it from Japan, and yeah, that's pretty expensive to get here in Europe. But you never know. I'm trying to track down all the bandmate stuff, the albums that is, and the EPs, and see where it goes from there. Anyways, love that band, and that's what we are listening to in the back. Hopefully it's not too loud, otherwise you can't hear me talk. That would be a shame, and the Q&A view is always about talking. So anyways, questions here. Let's see how far we come, and might cover this in a couple of days to cover this video, because I'm also kind of busy right now, so it could be that you see me in different clothes with the other questions. Then I filmed it in a couple of days, so that's what probably is happening. Over to the questions. First one is from Classy Lonnie Metal. What is my favorite restaurant's favorite meal? The favorite things to eat. Actually, it is about he loves his American food and Mexican food and stuff like that. And I'm just wondering what we are eating probably here in Europe, because he is from Tennessee in the US. Well, all the stuff you can get there, you also can get here. Well, all the stuff. I don't want to say all the stuff, but similar stuff. But yeah, what do we actually eat in the Netherlands? Yeah, next to our typical Dutch food, of course. I'm just love to eat a good steak. I love a good piece of meat to eat. I really love that kind of stuff. Also love to eat Italian food. Love pizza, lasagna. Pasta, spaghetti, that kind of stuff. I love that kind of stuff. Also like to eat Spanish tapas, sorry. Little dishes, side dishes with different kind of meat and vegetables and stuff like that. I like to eat that kind of stuff. Also love Asian food. Fantastic to eat, and definitely want to go to Asia sometime and explore there what the food is like. But I love some Asian food as well. So yeah, fantastic. That's kind of what I like to eat. I don't have a specific restaurant here that I every time go to. There are some restaurants that I regularly visit, but it's not that it's my favorite restaurant of all time or something. Just like to visit different kind of restaurants in different cities, explore there what they have on their menu. Um, yeah, I like that kind of stuff. That's what kind of I love to eat. Of course, next to what I normally eat, the healthy food, and sometimes also the Dutch food. Potatoes and meat and vegetables. That kind of stuff. The kind of stampot, we call it, is a mixture with vegetables and potatoes, then stamped with some stuff from some sauce from the meat on it, and then a meatball or a sausage or something like that. That's typical Dutch things, and yeah, there are some Dutch snacks, of course, but most of the time I just try to eat a bit healthier, and sometimes I eat something different to snack or whatever. I don't want to eat too much fat and sugar and stuff like that. I don't want to be a huge boy anymore. Um, so yeah, try to watch what I eat, let's put it that way, and not too big portions from what I eat. If I ate something which is less healthier, of course, pizza, things like that are not really healthy. Just try to keep it the more regular sizes from, instead of a big size pizza, that kind of stuff. We just think about that. It's all about how you eat and what you regular eat and what your size of the portions are. And most time I just keep it to one portion. That's for me enough to, So that's answer to your question. Hope you enjoy it, Lonnie. Of course, I like Mexican food as well, like you do. Good chicken or anything. I love to eat that as well. But just next to the favorite things. Yeah, and you talked about a whole chicken. I can't eat a whole chicken. Most of the time, it's just a big wing or drumsticks or things like that. The upper part of the leg. Let's put it that way. Christian Osaro asked me a question, of course. Let's see what he asked. I think I'm just reading the answer here. He was watching a movie Back in Time, of course, and he got inspired to ask me a question about traveling in time. If I had $100 and could travel back to 80s, what would you go buy, and which year would you go, and what were the albums that you would buy? Well, it's pretty hard. You really covered a really nice answer to the question for yourself, to travel to the late 80s and get all the stuff that was released in the 80s. That's a pretty smart answer, I have to say. Yeah, I like that idea, but I need a specific year, so I say 86 or something. First of all, records were more affordable, especially those first presses. If you want to look for a certain item now from the 80s or 90s when it was first pressed, then you pay big money for it. If it's especially if it's a metal record, somehow metal albums are also more pricey than regular pop albums somehow. That's because the amount of presses of limitations there were probably to a record. Anyways, I would think I would go to 86 or something like that. Things like the Rain and Blood from Slayer and Master of Puppets from Metallica, Ride the Lightning was from 84, but it's only 2 years gap. It's not that big. I think I would buy the Obsessed by Cruelty by Sodom or something like that, or the Sign of Evil. All stuff that is a bit harder to get now for a regular price. That kind of stuff, that old 80s thrash and yeah, early uh, darker metal, heavy metal, you know, the kind of stuff, you know. There's now, if you want to have it, that it's pricey. I would buy definitely that kind of stuff for the $100 I would spend back in '86. So I think I answered it like that. You know, it's a really interesting question. You gotta, dude. Really like your question, and if you're not familiar with Christian Osario, just go look up his channel. He's more into CDs, I think, but he definitely has a nice taste there, and it definitely can use a bit more subscribers. So if you like his question, you just check out his channel. Let's see what question I will do now. I think I will do the one from Pieface. He actually asked me 2 questions. What's my favorite metal shirt? I don't have especially one. I have a couple of them. I don't really collect a lot of metal shirts. I buy them now and then, you know, from a band that I like. Of course, you would expect that I would show an Iron Maiden shirt. It's from the Shinjetsu album. It's not my super favorite album of Iron Maiden, but I really like the design of the shirt, and I love to wear this one. It's really cool. Kind of a Japanese style Eddie here. Eddie is their mascot, which appears on every album. But if you're a metalhead, you probably already know that. But yeah, fantastic. I think I would buy. This is one of my favorites. And also love design of this one from Suffocation, which I will wear a lot too. And it's not, I think, from a specific album or something, just a really cool shirt design. Really like this shirt, cool design. Probably the most 2 favorite shirts I wear, of course, next to all the other band shirts I wear. Today I'm not wearing a band shirt, surprisingly, but yeah. That is probably my answer to your question. So let's see what we have here. It's a cool Pieface. He always was commenting on videos, and lately he has filmed a couple of videos, so that's really cool to see someone who's always commenting finally uploads videos himself. That's really cool. And the last question: if you are a musician, in which band would I play? What instrument would I play? I was actually a musician, but not in a really big band or anything. Just did some vocals in the past and played drums. Just favorites. If I do vocals, I would love to sing a Morbid Angel or Suffocation or things like that. You know, that kind of old school brutal death metal things. I would love to do that kind of stuff, probably. Drums, I don't know, probably in some kind of atmospheric black metal band or something. I really like play drums to death, probably something like that. I think that's I want to be. I don't know a specific band or anything, just a band that is in that kind of genre. So I think I will go with that. So I hope you like that answer, Simon. Thank you very much for your questions. I really appreciate it. Yeah, go check out Simon's channel. Next questions are from Gus69. Gus and I are pretty familiar with each other's channels for some time now. He just has an e-zine or had a webzine, I think like that, just like me. So we have that kind of connection, and these questions are kind of in that vein a bit. Of course, he likes metal and rock and stuff like that, but he just want to ask me questions in that area. So I really like that. It's something different than the standard questions. He just asked me, did I made my zine on any paper format before, you know, like in a glossy magazine or whatever. And he speaks with fanzine before. Wandering Souls webzine has also an e-zine I've done since 2004. So if you're not familiar with that, I did that in Dutch and I have the website, you know, you can check it out. The link is in the description. Anyways, he did a lot of because I also did a lot of e-zines and really magazines and stuff like that. I was thinking about that and exploring about that in the 90s and the end of the 90s to make a real paper format, but I wasn't really experienced in that matter, because I was young and didn't have super much money and things like that, you know. I had the passion for metal, of course, and the will to do that, but never came around to do a real paper one. But that would be been cool if that would happen. But Wandering Souls webzine was actually my first thing I really did in that kind of direction. Like I said, since 2004 I have this e-zine, and I actually had already the plan, but someone in my local community back in the day, and who's also in bands and stuff like that, you know, he just brought me more into reporting about local bands in that area in the Netherlands, in the area of the Netherlands. So I started up Wandering Souls back in the day, and it's all easy. I never did any paper, like I said, and my first experience was with this stuff. Started out really small, simple, just a simple .tk site, and back in the day, exploring how to make websites and things like that, and reported about my local scene in the news. Did album reviews and stuff like that, you know. Here there's some interviews, not much, but most of the time it were album reviews and live reports, you know, about live shows, and bringing the news from all the bands. I browsed all these band sites out and talked with bands about the latest news, you know, to put it on the site, and kind of grow out bigger from there to cover the whole metal universe later on. I just wanted moved also from that area, so I just wanted to do everything, including not only the specific area I was living in back in the day. And yeah, it's still up there. I need to do more updates. I'm kind of lacking because I'm doing YouTube a lot. Not that it's a bad thing, of course. I love to do YouTube, but definitely need to put also more time in the webzine. If I find it, then I will definitely will be more active than I already am. But we'll see what happens from there. Yeah, interesting question, Gus. I really like it. How do I get money from my zines, sponsors, ads, etc., 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 etc.? Opinion about, and he wants to know my opinion about selling out with all this, getting money from that. My opinion about that. Well, let's start off with the first part. Do I get money from this all? Simple question. No, I never get any money from ads or in general, also not from YouTube. I'm not interested in the money. I'm just doing this for fun, for the love of metal. Money doesn't interest me. I love to have money, but not from doing this kind of stuff. I just have a regular job where I get the money from and spend in all the music and all the concerts and doing all this stuff. That's where I got money. I just have a regular job, and yeah, I'm just loving doing this stuff for fun, YouTube and museums and stuff like that. You know, that's money doesn't, and if people do, I don't bother either. You know, I understand that you want to make a living somehow from doing things you love to do. So if ads or sponsors or whatever helps you out with that, I'm fine with that. And everything, each to his own, you know. As long as it's doing the right way, you know, with an honest opinion, honesty, and real passion for something that you can tell that as well, then I'm not really bother if someone earns money from that. I don't see it like sell out. You know, sell out is to me is something really is completely changing of due to the money. That's something different. And don't want to say it's sell out as well. Just you're changing the basic things you started with. That's something different, you know. And yeah, for me, money is not a thing that if I got money from something, fine, but I'm not looking money to do these things. You know, it doesn't interested me. So yeah, that kind of stuff a bit. Here's the last question as well. 3 interviews I never forgot. Like I said, I didn't do a lot of interviews. Most of the time I did that with local bands. And the interviews I enjoyed the most are the bands that I have a connection with, and also on personal level. Some of the bands I know personally, and that makes an interview much more interesting, and definitely comes out. And the questions are a bit different than the normal things, you know, and that makes an interview really interesting. And that's the bands that love to do interviews with. I love to do interviews with a bigger band, of course, sometimes somehow, but sometimes I definitely feel, for me it would feel different. I think of course there's a connection with the music, but don't know those big bands on a personal level, so that's always makes me a bit nervous when I meet new people or people that I look up to. And it makes it an interview a bit different in my feel. And it's why I love to do interviews with local bands, you know, smaller names. And those are the interviews that are more dear to me. Let's see, we are doing a new next. Let's do some questions from non-video makers, just to do something different here. Let's see, James Hughesby, I think his name. I pronounced it wrong. Let me know, guy, dude. I'm really sorry if I do. How long you've been collecting? Well, since my early teen years, since the early 90s. That's the period I'm already collecting. First started off with tapes and CDs, and I had some vinyl, not much, but the vinyl is just where it was bigger in from. Like I started this YouTube channel actually in 2015, 2016 I think. In 2016 when I started this channel I was bigger into collecting vinyl as well. But collecting CDs and tapes I already did since the early 90s. Yeah. We have a visitor here. Anyways, how big is your music collection? I already answered that in my previous Q&A, in Q&A 4. So you can look that back if you want to know specifically. About around 2,500 CDs, vinyl like 950 or somewhere in that vein. I don't know if you want to know specifically, just watch that video. It's kind of a double question, let's put it that way, but I don't mind that you ask, or don't get me wrong. If you have only could keep one genre in your collection, what would it be? Probably some black or death metal. Kind of that. It depends on my mood, so I have to pick one, of course. So, in depending on my mood now, I'd probably keep the black metal. Yeah, I'm most of the time more in the mood for black metal and death metal, and there are periods that are more in the mood for death metal. That's how it works. Just depends on how I feel. Passio, favorite concert moments. A moment that always stays forever with you. for me definitely is to be on stage with the death metal band Pyrexia during the gig in the Boudewijn Rotterdam in the Netherlands. Um, yeah, just went crazy on stage with the guys, with some other people as well. Half of the crowd was on stage, and it was a really fun moment. And yeah, it's really cool to look from the other side where the band is standing to the crowd and see everyone going crazy. It's really cool. Definitely a great moment, and it was a fantastic gig as well, I have to say. Do I prefer a band from non-English countries to write English lyrics or in their native tongue? I have no preference at all actually for that. It doesn't matter to me. Like I said, music is passion, and it doesn't matter if a band writes in English, Japanese, Italian, French, Dutch, German, whatever the country they come from. It doesn't matter to me. Music is passion, and if the right meaning is behind that, it always comes out in a way. Of course, I like it if a band tries to do English and speaks to a bigger audience, so all can understand. But I also like when bands definitely do not do that, and just keep on singing in their native language, and give it a special extra to that music what is from that region. Example, if a band is from let's say Japan, for example, and they only sing in Japanese, I kind of gives it and Japanese character kind of sound to it, and I like that when a band has that. Definitely, if the music also has some kind of that influences, it's fantastic. It's a different kind of experience than the regular standards trying to clone Western bands. I really like sometimes bands doing something different. So, but from personal perspective, it doesn't matter to me which language a band sings in. It doesn't matter to me really. So that's the answer to your question. Hope you like it, Pasio. Thank you very much for answering these questions. I think he was also one of the people that doesn't want to participate but still want to ask me those questions, and I really appreciate it. Still taking the time and effort to give me something to talk about, and yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much. Couple of people left. And to the questions from Josh Keach, I think, and then you have the question from Garage Geek questions, and I think there we have everything, but those two are the longest one, especially from Garage Geek. So let's see how far we come today, and if I have something different on, then you know how it is. So, Josh Keach, fantastic channel, but most of you VC people already know this dude, and if you still don't know it, just look at this channel. Fantastic, really nice fella. Yeah, fantastic guitar player as well. Great dude. Anyways, oh, don't kick the camera there, Mark. So, two questions from him. Next to his music, he also has passion for sports, also for Formula One, and that's also a sport that I really enjoy to watch. So it's really cool that he asked a question about that subject. Does Max gonna be champion for the third time or next year, of this coming year, or who else? What is my opinion about that certain era? Max, of course, Max Verstappen, which is a Dutch Formula One driver, and he is already champion for 2 times in a row. Do I say that right? I think so. So yeah, fantastic. First of all, congratulations, Max. You Dutch say Max, but foreign people say Max. Of course, I'm Dutch, so I'm gonna say Max Verstappen. yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be champion. He has a really big chance to be it for the third time, but hopefully the other teams will have a more competitive car this coming year. I mean Ferrari and Mercedes and that kind of teams. It would be more cool if it's gonna be closer to each other. And I have seen being revealed some new cars, and some of them look really cool as well. Um, but just when I film this, I haven't seen a lot of test results yet, or um, you know, between all the teams, I don't see really a lot of time lapse and lap times and things like that. How cars develop yet, but I will. Um, Look at that when just before the season is gonna start, which is in March, I think. It's now February, so it's almost March. So yeah, it's almost time to get a look into that. But it would be cool if it was more close to each other. Yes, indeed, just like you said, and it would be really cool. Always like it when there's some kind of action in the season that one there's a start and the dude is already have won since the start. You know, that's has to be some sort of nice challenges in between the drivers, and yeah, that sometimes it changes also in the results. That makes it a season interesting next to all the great overtaking and stuff like that, you know. But hopefully there is more competition. Of course, I will love it when Max is going to be champion again, but we'll see what's going to happen, of course. Yeah, we'll see. I wonder also, Josh, how do you watch Formula One? Is it just you have a certain streaming service that you pay to watch that kind of stuff? Because this stuff with Formula One is just on a pay television right now here in the Netherlands. I don't know how it is in your country, but here you have Ziggo Sport or Viaplay or whatever to watch Formula One. How do you watch Formula One? That's a question to you. Of course, I would like to pay something extra to watch it, but it's kind of weird to pay money for when the season is over and there's nothing on that channel for a lot of months, and yeah, you pay for it just to watch Formula One. Just use kind of illegal streams to watch overall the Grand Prix. Let's put it that way. How do you watch it, Josh? I'm curious. So next question and last question from him. What would be my black metal starter kit for noobs? In short, what would I recommend to people just getting into black metal or just want to go into black metal? You know, yeah, there could be different kind of stuff. It also depends on where you start from. Are you more from the thrash side or from the melodic side, or you know, where are you coming from? Specifically, most of newbies to black metal don't start really raw immediately. Most of the time they start more melodic or atmospheric, or having more thrashy sound or a punkier sound. You know, not that really lo-fi black metal is not the stuff that you really start with. That's already noticed with a lot of people getting into black metal. There's always a certain band that has certain riff or melody that get people stuck in there, and they slightly going to change into the black metal sound. Black metal sounds always, most of the times, also people scared of with the lo-fi sound, and the vocals are most of the time the things that people not getting into black metal. And I once had a fun talk with an aunt of mine. She doesn't like that heavy. She likes some rock and some metal, but also she likes 80s pop and things like ABBA and Rush and things like that, you know, rock and pop and that kind of stuff. But she likes some here and there are some things that, but always what gets not her into extreme metal and metal in general is the vocals and things like that, you know. She loves here and there are some melodies on it, but always doesn't explore any further. Also comes with a lot of people I come across. But for the fun of it, I just let her listen to Nemesis Divina from Satyricon, and then especially the song Modern North. Um, it's also a recommendation for you, Josh, if you want to start in the black metal, that kind of bands, you know. Which have a more melodic or symphonic sound. I don't know if you're a specific symphonic sound, but definitely adds more to the atmosphere and the melody in this case. I think that you will enjoy. Just try Nemesis Divina by Satyricon. Maybe I have an album here I can show you that, which is this album, Nemesis Divina by Satyricon. Definitely want to recommend you the tracks Modern North and Immortality Passion. Check out those two tracks and let me know what you think about those. But like I said, I had a nice discussion about the sound, and she liked the melodies in there, but she didn't like the vocal, and that's always the case. If people want to start into this kind of music, the vocal just gets them off. Of course, there are different degrees in extremes. You know, Satyricon vocalist, the Satyr, definitely sounds different like than Danny Filth or anything. You know, it's more low tuned instead of that high shrieks what Danny does. Anyways, it's definitely something different, and yeah. But that's a band you could start with. Another one, of course, it would be Emperor. Try their album In the Night Side Eclipse. Definitely will enjoy that, I think. Emperor is definitely a band that evolved a bit in a more technical direction, more proggy sounds with their coming albums after that. But In the Night Side Eclipse definitely focused the best of the Norwegian sound with the keyboard elements and different way of approaching things. You know, the keyboard definitely has some classical elements to it, and more atmospheric elements, and a really nice combination. I think you will enjoy that album. Another one album I would recommend to you is At the Heart of Winter by Immortal. It's one of the better produced albums, and definitely has some great moments melody wise, and it's not that really that harsh, fast black metal. Of course there's faster moments, but it's definitely good produced. In the Abyss studio I think it's recorded, and definitely captures a good sound. After the albums after that definitely felt like a different direction for Immortal to me. But each to his own. Some people like the more newer stuff, and some people like the more old stuff. My favorite records probably are Battles in the North and Pure Holocaust, but that's a kind of a mindset thing for me, and the stuff that I enjoy the most and has to do most to me. I like the At the Heart of Winter, don't get me wrong, really great album. But for a starter album, I definitely try to listen to At the Heart of Winter first before you start getting in the old stuff, you know. But that's a personal preference. If you want to start in the early stuff, that's your choice. But yeah, that's kind of stuff that I only have 3 so far. Then another album I would recommend is Storm of the Light's Bane by Dissection. Which is this album. Fantastic album. This is not a legit copy, this is actually a bootleg because this album is so badly repressed. But yeah, Josh, for you it doesn't matter, you're not into vinyl, so doesn't be hard to pick up a reissue from a CD version from that album. Anyways, it's a fantastic album. Great melodies, great atmosphere. It's a more melodic Black and Death kind of feel to it. The vocals are definitely more in the black metal realm, and there's definitely some great stuff on that record that I think you will enjoy. Definitely has the faster moments, but a lot of the melodic moments as well, and that's why I think you will like that album. First album is also really recommended, of course, the Somberlane. Also a great record. Great band in general, but that's something different. Older bands, yes, kind of hard to give you great recommendations that you think you will enjoy straight away. If you watch my videos, then I know you made notes. Just let me know which thing you prefer to listen to in black metal. You're more melodic guy, or you know, really hard. Dark Funeral I could recommend. Try the album Secrets of the Black Arts. I think that one is really this is the band's first studio album, and definitely has that really black metal elements, kind of harshness to it, but also some great riffing going on there. And it's a really pretty fast-paced album as well. But yeah, definitely feels that essence of black metal. Secrets of the Black Arts by Dark Funeral. Great album. Definitely will enjoy that, I think. Ooh, we're not at 10 yet, huh? It's kind of hard. Maybe I should have prepared that one better, but I just thought let's do that off the bat, you know. Yeah, and you already talked about Josh about Gorgoroth. Album I could recommend to you is one of my favorites is Antichrist. It's it's a bit of a harder album, but it's a fantastic album. And recently is reissued by Soul Cellar Records, so it's not really hard to get either. It's been a more problem back in the day, but Gorgoroth has a lot of reissues, but it's a fantastic album. Another album I could recommend you is Asian with Svartalfheim. This is the band's first album, definitely one of the best albums they made. Great black metal, has some kind of melody to it, but also that raw edges back in the day still, before they became more melodic and more gothic. This is definitely more the more Norwegian sound they had back in the day. It's back in the day where there's still a two-piece with Grim and Avazel. Yeah, great album. Definitely recommend it. Another one I could recommend, James at Stormwind definitely will love this as well. If I mentioned this, recommend you is Those of the Unlight by Marduk. Fantastic album as well. Marduk is known for the really fast Norsecore stuff, but definitely has some more other songs as well. This album is kind of a mixture of stuff like that. Here's a track listing. Definitely check out the tracks Bulls, On Darkened Wings, Those of the Unlight, and Burn My Coffin. And let me know what you think, Josh. If you like this kind of stuff, or you are definitely more in that other things. Another album I could recommend you from Marduk is Nightwing, which is one of my favorites. So, which is this album. Definitely one of my favorite albums. really cool is definitely the first half of this album. Is definitely that, you know, that aggressive things like Israel and of Hell's Fire, you know, the fast. But the second half of the album is more different and definitely has a different approach. It's all about Vlad Dracula, you know, the Prince of Wallachia, Wallachia, um, which a lot of people are known as Dracula, you know, Vlad Dracul. He was actually don't really account but a prince of that era in Romania. But Bram Stoker just romanticized it a bit, I think. But yeah, kind of about that subject, and there are some more slower songs on there as well. So definitely different side of Marduk here. You have more slower albums as well and faster albums. Every album is different. An album like Panzer Division Marduk is just a fast war themed albums, but Dance Macabre, for example, is more slower. There's more about death and other subjects. You know, every around that era they did different topics of in their music. But I could recommend you those exactly, especially the old albums. Fantastic work. Kind of a recommendations. Maybe I should join in a Dutch band there. It's pretty hard. Which one would I choose? Funeral Winds. Let's try Funeral Winds with Koude Haat. I think there's an album you might enjoy as well. It's also fast, definitely darker, black metal, more satanic things. Maybe you can try that one as well. Hopefully I got enough recommendation for you, Josh. If you want to know more or more specific things, just ask me in the comment section or in the private message or whatever. You have my ways to contact me. But yeah, just some things I wanted to share with you. So yeah, hope you enjoy that. So then over to the last questions, and those are from Garage Geek. So he has two questions. The first one is about recommended him some names, and second one is daring him to give you things to check out as for you a challenge, a kind of a challenge, a daring challenge, let's put it that way. When he entered with this video in the contest, I really enjoy the way he took a different way to get me answer the questions. He definitely has a really nice way of challenging me here, but certainly, dude, I'm gonna challenge you a lot as well. I'm gonna take you everywhere, as much as I can, of course. And it could be that you know already some names from it, some names already mentioned somehow. But just wanna challenge you a bit, of course. And I know you are not super deep into metal. You're just exploring, and also thanks to Kim, I think, from This Is Music. But I'm gonna challenge you, dude. The first thing you asked, and let's see what you ask. Pick 10 songs that are favorites from me, that you think that you challenge him. So yeah, these are things you are really challenged with, I think. Just going through some things. The first one I think you need to check, and I think you might already know this band, but I just want to know what your thoughts about it. And I challenge you, dude. I hope you do this in reaction video form. That would be fantastic. I know you're not doing that format somehow, but I challenge you to do all these songs in reaction video format. It could be per song or in one big video. That's up to you. I leave that up to you, but I challenge you to do that and see your genuine reaction to these kind of songs. That would be fantastic and funny to see, I think. The first one I want you to react to, and that one don't want to pick you a really long song. I wanted to pick you Halloween from this album, but that song is more than 13 minutes, so I just gonna keep it to Future World from Keeper of the Seven Keys from Halloween. So I challenge you, listen to Future World, Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 1. It's the 1987 album, I think, from Halloween. Check out the song Future World. I just wanted to keep it short, but check out that song. I preferred that you checked out Halloween, the song, but like I said, the song is 13 minutes, so I'm sparing you a lot of time here. Then I want you to check out this album, Dream Theater, Images and Words. You might know it, I don't know. It's a prog metal album from the US. Challenge you to check out the song Take the Time, which is the third song on the album, a song from 8 minutes. Check out that song, progressive metal from, I think, New York, if I'm not mistaken. Go check out this band, Dream Theater. I'm now just gonna challenge you more and more here. Another band I want you to check out, of course, Love Bites. Who else? You're already familiar with Bandmate, I think, and that kind of stuff, so I think you might enjoy it. If you like the Halloween stuff, then you'll definitely enjoy this one as well. Let's see which song I want to pick from this album. This is a live album, Heavy Metal Never Dies. This is a live album that was released in 2022, I think. Yeah, let's check out the song Set the World on Fire, which is song 5 on disc 1. Let's check out that song, Set the World on Fire by Love Bites. Check out that one. Then I'm gonna challenge you more and more. I want you to check out Merciful Fate, and the vocals of King Diamond always seem some trouble for some people, so I hope we'll see if you like this. Check out the song Black Funeral, which is track 5 on the Melissa album, and let me know what you think of the different kind of facets of his vocal range. Merciful Fate. And then we get a bit more extreme. Let's see if you are up to that. I want you to check At the Gates, Slaughter of the Soul, and I want you to check out the track, and let's see, let's check out the first track. Just check out the first one, Blinded by Fear. First track on this album, Slaughter of the Soul. Let's give you some pumping stuff there. Check out that track. I think want to know what you think of that kind of melodic death metal. Then I want to check out, and there is it again, Dissection, Storm of the Light's Bane. Let's check out the song Thorns of Crimson Death. I want you to check out that song. So check out Dissection. And then I want you to check out, of course, a classic band, Morbid Angel. And let's do the track God of Emptiness. I want you to check out that track. It's a bit slower track from the band, heavy track, and it has an interesting vocal line. So check out that one. And one of the last ones, I want you to check out some Ginger. Tatiana Schmuller on vocals, fantastic singer, and I want you to check out, of course, the track Pisces, a track that gets a lot of recognition all over the YouTube page of community. I don't know if you have listened to that track, but I want you to listen to it and tell me what you think. Preferably take the live sessions version in that studio. You will be amazed if you don't know it. Trust me. Pisces by Ginger. And the last band I want you to check out, this is not really a metal band, but it seems to be a band that is appreciated a lot also by metal lovers. It's kind of more neo-folk. I want you to check out Hilo. Yeah, let's check out the track. Don't butcher the title. Exactly, it's Calder or something like that. I will put a link if you want to check out that one. I do. So that's the things you must check, and of course you want to challenge me as well. So I'm gonna do a separate video to your suggestions for that Garage Geek, and it's probably gonna be a reaction video format or somehow that are gonna react to that kind of music. I'm a kind of person that likes really emotive music, emotional music, dark music. If and I have a certain couple of genres that I don't listen much to it, but if you pick songs from that genres, kind of pick because some of the genres I want to explore. I want to say that for first thing. Check out that kind of stuff. Let me check out the dark emotive thing with a great story in the lyrics and a great voice. Then you got me hooked to a certain genre. If you pick, you could pick to challenge me something different in between. I don't mind, but I want to be challenged in a good way. And it's all for me also exploring besides the metal, you know. First genres I have nothing, almost nothing with is soul and R&B. So I challenge you, Garage Geek, to give me 5 songs in that era. For soul free and let's say R&B 2 songs, that kind of that era, to challenge me to check out. And I'm really curious what you come up with. And two other genres I need to explore more are country and jazz. I listen to some country, and I heard some Johnny Cash, so that's considered country, I think. I like that kind of stuff. So if you got more in that era, give me 3 songs to check out. Don't specifically Johnny Cash, but other artists in that kind of niche, let's put it that way. And the jazz, I like jazz not super much. I love jazz infused with metal and rock. Probably there are some metal bands that use jazz in their music, which really fits. So I'm wondering what you could think of 2 jazz songs you can come up with that could be intrigued to me as a metalhead. Don't have to be metal or rock or fusion, just some jazz songs that might impress me. So let's see what you come up with. So that's my answer to your question. Thank you all for all your questions. I really appreciate it. It's a fantastic journey. Thank you all for the support, for the subs. for responding to my questions with your videos and in the comment section. I really appreciate it. More videos in the future to come. We'll see what happens. For now, I've got a lot of editing to do with this video because it's more than an hour. If it's shorter, then you know I have added some stuff in there, but yeah, that's what it are, my answers to all your questions. 35 questions answered with Q&A 4 and Q&A 5 combined, so 2 hours of questions here. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day, guys. I really appreciated you watched and took the time, this long time, to see me answer and struggle on these questions. So cheers to you guys, and see you next video. Arrivederci.